Hi everyone. We are from Group 2 History of Economics Thought. This video is going to introduce about Chicago School. The Chicago School of Economics was founded in the 1930s by Frank Heinemann Knight. It originally developed by members of the Department of Economics at the University of Chicago, that emphasizes free market principles. They also placed great emphasis on the effect of the money supply, which they viewed as the most crucial determinant of economic stability. In 1963, Friedman and Anna Schwartz published The Monetary History of the United States, among whose findings was that the 1929 Depression was brought about by a severe contraction in the money supply. While other prominent economists that associated with the Chicago School are George Stigler, Merton Miller, Ronald Coase, Gary Becker, and Robert Lucas. There are four major tenets in the Chicago School. First major tenet in Chicago School is optimizing behavior. Economists in Chicago School emphasize on analyzing the economy rationally with empirical evidence given. For example, Gary S. Becker's rotten kid theorem that shown how parents rationally treat their children by transferring utility from wrongdoer to the victim. Next, Chicago School used mathematical orientation. The economists test model with mathematical orientation if it can predict what happens in real world and revise the wrong one until it goes right. Another major tenet is limited government. This is to control money supply to the economic trend. It promotes some models that can analyze government to against Keynesian's claim on. The last major tenet for Chicago School is rejection on Keynesian. The economists disproved monetary policy that can balance a trade-off between inflation and unemployment. They also think that Keynesian relied too heavily on demand to explain changes in productivity and unemployment.
After the background and major tenets, let us look to its contribution, which is monetary theory. First, the demand for money. People demand cash balances because they provide utility to the holder. Three major determinants of the amount of money households and enterprise will desire to hold are total wealth, cost of holding money, and preferences. Next is modern quantity theory of money. The demand for money is relatively stable in the short run. An increase in the supply of money will leave people holding cash balances in excess of amounts they want. The demand for money is highly stable, more stable than functions such as the consumption function that are offered as alternative key relations. Third is the cause of the Great Depression. Friedman and Schwartz reached the controversial conclusion that monetary policy was largely responsible for causing the Great Depression of the 1930s. Fourth is long-run vertical Phillips curve. Employment rate tends to be full employment in the long run without affecting by the actual inflation rate. Now we move to another contribution, which is economic liberalism. The market system protects not only economic freedom but also political freedom. Several of Friedman's reforms have been enacted, others are still the subject of public debate. Friedman's admirers and critics alike agree that he has established that money matters in the economy.